I'm Nicola Tallant, and you're listening to Crime World, a podcast about criminals, drugs, and the sins of the underworld. We're Ireland's top podcast for 2025, and now we've got a new website. So if you want to learn more about crime and criminals, if you want stories, extras, and podcast subscriber specials, go to www.crimeworld.com.
So the Hennessy trial, the trial of four men accused of torturing an alleged victim in a house in Corduff, was due to go ahead this week, but it hasn't gone ahead after the main witness, the man who allegedly suffered this torture, did not appear. Yeah. What happened in court?
Yeah, so basically the court heard that Barry Moore was allegedly tortured by the four defendants, Jason Hennessy Jr., Brandon Hennessy, Kenneth Fitzsimons and Kenneth's son Dean Fitzsimons. This was in February of last year. And essentially in November, there's been several dates where this trial was due to go ahead, but it wasn't able to go ahead because Barry Moore, the witness in the case, the principal witness, because he's the alleged victim, wasn't there. So it was back this week when it was basically heard that even though a bench warrant was issued for Mr. Moore, he still didn't manage to turn up to court. And essentially what's happened this week is that the court was told that the case won't be able to be heard. The trial won't be able to be heard this year now.
So the guards know where he is. It's a sort of an unusual situation, I suppose. The bench warrant is issued because you're compelled as a witness to turn up. It's not whether you want to or not.
Exactly. You're part of the state's case. So you're under an obligation to appear. They obviously have, I think they say in court that they know where he is. So he's not as if he's gone on the run. But he obviously just hasn't appeared for whatever reason. No.
Now, this case, we would have been facing into the evidence, but we probably would have begun before Christmas. The Special Criminal Court tends to be slightly longer hearings.
Yeah.
But had they given a date when it's due to come back?
It's due to come back on December 17th to see what progress has been made, but she's going to adjourn the matter in relation to the trial until January 12th. So it's been basically essentially listed for trial in January, but she kind of wants an update on December 17th.
Now, witnesses not turning up is... we wouldn't be normally able to discuss this, but it is becoming before the Special Criminal Court, so it is slightly different.
Yeah.
Like, cases can proceed without a witness. Of course they can. Also, there can be situations in court where you can hear that a witness initially gave a statement and that statement is withdrawn, and the prosecution can argue for that statement to be admitted in any way. Now, the defence may take a different position, and it's a reasonable position, obviously, to take, that without a witness, if a statement is put into court, they don't get to cross-examine that witness.
No.
But obviously, the state can also rely on other aspects of evidence. Barry Moore, the man who allegedly suffered these wounds, he is from around the sort of Corduff Blanchardstown area, and some of the wounds pictures of the wounds were circulated on social media. They're particularly horrific.
Yeah.
Remind us just what these four men are facing trial for.
Yeah, so basically Jason Hennessy Jr. and his brother Brandon Hennessy, he's a younger man, he's in his 20s, they're from Sheep Hill Avenue, Blanchardstown. They, along with Kenneth Fitzsimons and his son Dean, are charged with false imprisonment, intentionally or recklessly causing serious harm, and with participating in or contributing to the activity of a criminal organisation by assaulting Mr. Moore, causing him serious harm. And this is all alleged to have happened in February earlier this year. And they're also accused of Jason Hennessy, is accused of producing a branding stamp. So obviously that had been used as, had been mentioned before, about what was allegedly done to Mr. Moore.
Yeah, we heard that when he in the initial hearings, while they were basically seeking bail, we heard that Mr. Moore was brought into a garage or a shed at the back of the Hennessy family home.
Yeah.
That he was questioned by the men, that during this questioning he was branded with the word rat as a result of a cattle branding iron which was heated up and pushed into his body on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
It is also alleged that a motorbike was driven over him, and that he suffered a number of very serious threats, all in relation to an accusation that, again, this is heard in the evidence, that he was being accused of giving information that he shouldn't have given out, basically. He was obviously allowed to go free, and ultimately, within the space of a short number of hours, the Gardaí descended and arrested the men. Now, they've remained on remand in prison ever since. But this week they have applied for bail again, or they haven't applied for bail, but they've indicated that they may apply for bail, saying that if this keeps getting put back and there's a belief that a witness might not appear, that they shouldn't be kept in jail awaiting this trial in perpetuity, basically. Yeah,
exactly. And I suppose, sorry, just to add to the charges earlier, along with Jason Hennessy Jr., Dean Fitzsimons is also charged with producing a metal branding stamp and making threats to kill or cause serious harm. And then Brandon Hennessy, along with Kenneth Fitzsimons, they're charged with producing a steel breaker bar during that incident. So just to add to that. But yeah, in relation to what you were saying about the length they've been in jail, they've obviously been on remand since early in the year, so it would be coming up to a year by the time the trial is due to happen. And their defence counsel basically said that they know nothing of. So counsel for Dean Fitzsimons said there were 4 persons in custody and they wanted the state to put in writing what was happening, and the other accused counsel kind of supported that, because they basically said that they declined, that they didn't know why the witness wasn't turning up. Nothing has really been communicating to their clients. And Jason Hennessy Jr.'s counsel said that his client was in custody, situation couldn't proceed much longer, and if things didn't change, he was going to make an application for bail the next time they appear in court.
Yeah. Now, there was a 5th man obviously came before the courts, Devin Hennessy, and he's already made a plea of guilty at an earlier stage. He obviously hasn't been sentenced yet.
No.
So what was the charge he pled guilty to?
So he admitted basically assault causing serious harm, which can actually carry a sentence of life imprisonment. I doubt that will happen. That doesn't really happen, but that's how serious it is. So he admitted that, and he also admitted another charge of assault as well. But his sentencing date has been put back. Obviously, he's the older brother of Jason Hennessy and Brandon Hennessy, and he's the son of Jason Hennessy Sr., who was murdered in the Brown Steakhouse on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. So so he's in custody awaiting sentence, but I assume that's been put back. I think it was mentioned in October, and but he definitely hasn't been sentenced yet.
No, and Devin Hennessy is a very notorious criminal figure. He was one of the people that was involved in a sort of very violent feud known as the Corduff feud, where nobody was killed, but it was just a matter of luck. But there was a large number of violent incidents, and during the course of this feud, actually some of the footage was captured by TV cameras who were, I think the programme at that stage was called Inside the K, but it was subsequently renamed. But you could see Devin Hennessy in that, very, very intimidating character. He'd also been probably been an associate of members of the Mr. Flashy gang, though it's believed there was further fallouts in that. And of course, he'd survived an attempt on his life in recent times as well.
Yeah, he did, And we actually had the story that, there was an incident in prison. He hasn't been quiet in prison. He's had fallouts within different he's had a clash with inmates within prison, and basically there was a firebomb attack on a home in the West Dublin area, and it's related to that. So essentially he had a fallout with another inmate, and then a house linked to innocent people of that inmate was then targeted. So it kind of shows that even though, as we've said before, the Corduff feud has calmed with with various different people being in jail, there's still volatility there, and that was one of the incidents. There was also somebody else targeted. He's described as a foot soldier for the Hennessy gang and an associate of Devin Hennessy. Just a month ago, he was a home with innocent people in it linked to him was shot up as well. So there is still a little instance happening, but Devin Hennessy seems to be at the heart of anything there.
Okay, Eimear, well, we'll definitely come back to this because it will be a lot of interest in this trial when it does eventually go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Thanks, Eimear.
Thanks, Niall.